UConn hoping to get its second after taking care of Miami. The Huskies have been rolling through this tournament, won by 13. No team in tournament history has ever had 5 wins by 15 or more. So all of our researchers here at ESPN quite upset with Dan Hurley for running out the clock at the end to spoil the note. But, of course, there were also some dominant performances back before you had to play this many games to win a championship. LaPhonso, Ellis, Seth Greenberg here. UConn, look, this Miami team was really good. ACC co-champions, a lot of offensive firepower. And, man, it was just too hard for them to get anything going against UConn. And I mean, the Huskies just look like a dominant force.
They did, and I thought it started really on the defensive end. And we talked about going this game. We wondered if UConn's length would bother them. Isaiah Wong had a difficult time scoring the basketball today. I thought they did a great job of keeping the basketball in front, but he likes to stop and do that little pivot. Their length closing them out, and a lot of his shots that he typically makes from 15 and in were short in this game, Seth.
You know, talking to Danny before this game, he was trying to figure out who does he put Andre Jackson on. Then Andre Jackson gets in foul trouble, and they still were able to defend. Connecticut is an elite defensive team because they can pressure the ball. You know why they can pressure the ball? Because they got a dude behind them that can protect the front of the rim. So they run you off the three-point line. They pressure you. They disrupt your rhythm. And then if you do get to the rim, they swallow you up. They swallowed up Nigel Pack. They swallowed up Isaiah Wong when he tried to get to the front of the rim. You can talk about the 49% they shot from the field and the 34% they shot from the three, or the 19 assists to the 28 field goals. It's the defense that really is different for this Connecticut team. They guard the ball, they protect the rim, and they run you off the three-point line. Last time I checked, that's pretty good.
The defense is great, but look, offensively, you've mentioned this a lot. They've got a lot of weapons. They've got a lot of answers. They got 2 guys swallowing it up at the rim on defense. And then you have Sonogo stepping out, starting the game. Then let me knock down a couple of threes just to make sure you're going to come out here and check me.
Yeah,
right?
Sonogo's back-to-back threes like Jim Larinaga's going, was that on the scouting report? I mean,
I've seen him do it, though.
The assistant coach should have had that report. He knocks down the 2 threes. They're playing off him, and he's like, oh, no, my goodness. It's like your worst nightmare.
Right.
You're right, but also the way they run offense, because you know what? They are now held hostage to ball screen offense. It's move the ball, move people, change sides of the floor, and then the number of guys that can make a play. Caravan was terrific. Sonogo was terrific. Jordan Hawkins made that 3 to start the game. They got solid point guard play. They're just a really complete team that plays just a little bit differently, Fonz, than other people.
Yeah, and Tristan Newton, I thought, did a really good job of playing within himself. And there were times, Rece, you and I were sitting right next to each other. He had Nigel Pack on him, and he knew it, and he drove the basketball and took it right through his face. And so they're so hard to guard because they have so many answers. And even if you double team down on Sonogo, now you open yourself up to open threes. They made 9 threes in this game. This is a complete offensive team.
And how about their bench?
Has.
They bring dudes off the bench, and those guys contribute. Donovan Clingan, all right, like what he does in the minutes that he plays. I mean, you can't score over him. He runs the floor. He catches everything thrown at him. He finishes at the rim. Joey California shoots it well enough that you got to step out and guard him. So what does that do? It creates space. The guys that come in, Naheem Aline, I mean, he played 9 guys in, I think, the first 8 minutes of the game, Dan Hurley. He is empowering those guys. And then the last thing is his poise. Like, we've watched him since he's been in Connecticut. We've known Danny forever. He's an emotional guy. I thought he was really, really under control, confident, and poised in leading his team.
You know, toward the end of the CBS broadcast tonight, they took a shot in the stands, and you saw Dan's father, Bob, his brother, Bobby. And, look, they're a close family. Nothing's going to change that. But throughout his entire basketball career, he's been somebody's brother or somebody's son. Now he stands 1 win away from having a national championship. Not to take anything away from Bob Hurley, who's a Hall of Famer, or Bobby, who was just a legend at Duke and is a fine coach in his own right. But now they're going to be the brother and the father to a national championship coach if they can win 1 more game.
Yeah, it's really interesting. But their support system, I mean, Danny, we said this on the game, that he didn't miss any steps. You know, he was his dad's assistant. He was a college assistant. He was a low major high school coach, great success. But he has separated himself as, maybe we always talk about the next generation. He's separating himself. When you talk about the great younger coaches in college basketball, he won at the low major level. He won at the mid-major level. He's poised to have a chance to win a national championship. In a lot of ways, he's one of the guys that's the future of college basketball.
And Seth, doing it differently. You know how much I love. We talked about Mike Brey being an innovator in terms of bringing 5-out offense, 4 out, 1 in. Well, Denny Hurley's doing a pretty good job now. They don't run a lot of ball screen actions. I mean, they run a lot of away screens. They wrap that thing. They move that basketball from side to side. And so I love the fact that not only I agree with you that he's kind of one of these new up-and-coming coaches, but he does it in a very different way, a unique style that's fun to watch.
And his dad, I know Coach Hurley. I call him the real Coach Hurley. That's Big Bob.
Well, you're going to have to change that if they win Monday night.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But
Yes, you are.
Like, Coach Hurley's a tough guy, and Danny's a tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
But past that toughness is emotion. Mm-hmm. And, and Danny broke up when we were talking early in the week. Sharing this with his dad is, like, to me, a gift of – because he's had battles with – himself. Mm-hmm. Sharing this with his dad is almost like closure of, I didn't have the career that Bobby had, but I'm following in your footsteps in terms of becoming a special coach. And it's kind of fun for me to watch because we've seen him kind of grow up.
This is not an easy place to do it. If you have lived in Connecticut, you understand the pressure that you're under as a UConn head coach. And the legacy of success in the Final Four. I mean, they're 5-1 in national semifinals now. You saw just before they came to us a 4-0 national championship game. He's going to have an opportunity to go for their 5th there, and he could be the 3rd UConn coach in the last 25 years to win a national championship.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.